And today I'm reviewing eHarmony. It was a very nice place to go. It was easy enough to get in. I was really looking forward to it because I'd heard and read about it over the years. I'd certainly seen their ads boasting how well they did with marriages. So I was interested. And my first impression was, holy cow, what a lot of questions. You have to answer an incredibly long series of questions. They don't pry into icky things, like your weight or, what kind of figure you have, but they do ask you a lot of very interesting questions that not only make you think, but maybe make you think that a psychologist had a hand in asking all these questions. I actually, although it was a lot of work and it took me like, I don't know, 2 hours to get through not just the questionnaire, but they then have a facial recognition program that took me forever. So it took a while to get in, but once I got in, I was pretty happy because I saw a lot of men, and more interestingly, they had complete profiles, unlike most of the sites I had seen in the past. So you could find out something about their lives, about their passions, about their hobbies. Most of them had a suite of photos, so you could look at more than one headshot for many of them. And it made them seem very real. You weren't suddenly getting a zillion pop-ups, or so it seemed, you know. So I looked through the people who were there, and they all seemed very interesting, and a lot of them seemed to be close to me, which is unusual because I live adjacent to a small town. So not that small, like 200,000 people, but still pretty small. And I'm actually out in the country. So I was very pleasantly surprised to see people from the city and people from the country combined in there. And that was as far as it went, because at that point I had to sign up. There was no ability to see any further details or to contact anybody. You could leave them a little heart and hope they hearted you. And if they hearted you and you hearted them, you might have a way to exchange a note. And that's it. So now we go to membership. And since I researched around, I discovered that probably cost of membership is the one thing that gives the site not the greatest reputation on the review sites, like a very mid kind of rating. And that's because I presume people don't understand that the promotional membership they sign up for, or the promotional price, doesn't last. And when it renews, it's a lot more. And when it does renew, it's awfully hard to see the place where it says automatic renewal. This is what people on the internet say. I, from my place of privilege and a wonderful editor, didn't have to go through that. So for me, the disappointment did not come from the financial end. The disappointment came when I realized that actually, now that I had put in some preferences and listed my age and not my weight or height, I don't think, but a lot of other stuff, uh, suddenly the list of men shrank. And then it shrank again when I was really honest. And basically, there was no one in my area. There were like two or three men who did not appeal and looked like they had probably dated everyone in the area. you know? So that was my experience. I think if you live in a big city, because there were tons and tons. I'm a far enough drive from Atlanta, Georgia, to make it not worth it for any kind of a first date. But like if you lived in a city like Atlanta, or obviously all the bigger cities, you probably wouldn't have any problem. And I believe the hype that people are more likely to marry here because of all the dating sites. This was the one that really put an emphasis on intentionality and consensuality. So I thought it was pretty classy all in all. And that's my review. Bye.